What if I told you that everything you own, your house, your car, your business, could be taken from you in a matter of days? Sounds scary, right? But it happens every single day. People get sued, audited, or targeted, and suddenly, their most valuable assets are at risk. Now, imagine this. You still live in your home. You still drive your car. You still control your money, but legally, your name isn't on anything. On paper, you own nothing, but in reality, you control everything. That's the power of making your personal assets invisible. And no, this isn't about doing anything illegal or shady. This is about smart, legal strategies that rich people, celebrities, and even politicians have been using for decades to protect themselves. Because the truth is, when your name is publicly attached to high-value assets, you become a target. A target for lawsuits. A target for creditors. A target for identity theft. But when your name disappears from those public records, you disappear from the radar. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 powerful ways to legally remove your name from your assets and make them practically invisible. Whether you're trying to protect your wealth, keep your privacy, or just stay under the radar, this video is for you. So grab a pen and paper, take notes, and stick around until the end, because the 5th method is something 99% of people have never even heard of, but it could change everything. Let's dive in. Let's start with one of the most effective and widely used tools for asset protection, the LLC, or limited liability company. If your personal name is listed as the owner of a car, house, or business, that asset is legally tied to you. And that means, if someone sues you, your assets are exposed. But when you form an LLC and transfer ownership of those assets to the company, you're creating a legal wall between yourself and the asset. On paper, the LLC owns the property, not you. For example, instead of buying a car under your personal name, you can buy it under your LLC's name. Instead of owning a rental property, as John Smith, you register it under Sunset Property Holdings, LLC. Here's the best part. You still control everything. You're the manager or member of the LLC, but your name no longer shows up on public asset records. That means more privacy and more protection. Even if someone searches your name in public databases, they won't find your properties or businesses directly linked to you. This makes it harder for people to target you financially. But be careful, not all LLCs offer the same level of privacy. In some U.S. states, like Wyoming, New Mexico, and Delaware, you can form anonymous LLCs, where your name doesn't even appear in public filings. That's a game changer for people who value discretion. Also, use a registered agent instead of your home address to keep your identity even more hidden. Setting up an LLC is fast and affordable, but make sure you do it legally and properly. Get professional advice if you're unsure. Coming up next, a powerful strategy that lets you own assets without technically owning them. It's called a trust, and it might be even more private than an LLC. Stay tuned. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated but powerful tools for making your assets invisible. The trust. A trust is a legal agreement that allows one party, the trustee, to hold and manage assets for the benefit of another party. The beneficiary. There are different types of trusts, but for asset privacy, 2 of the most effective ones are the living trust and the land trust. Let's say you own a home. Instead of having it in your personal name, you can transfer it into a trust, like the Sunset Living Trust or the Oakwood Land Trust. On public record, the property is now owned by the trust, not you. Your name disappears from ownership records. But here's the best part. You can still control the asset, live in the house, or sell it, depending on how the trust is structured. This is a method that wealthy individuals have been using for years to pass down wealth, avoid probate, and maintain total privacy. In many cases, when someone tries to look up who owns the property, all they see is the name of the trust, not yours. That gives you a massive layer of protection. Land trusts are especially popular for holding real estate privately, and they are recognized in several U.S. states like Florida, Illinois, and California. Just keep in mind, trusts must be created properly to be effective. Work with an attorney or a trust specialist to set it up right. And remember, while a trust can keep your name off public documents, it doesn't automatically protect you from every legal threat. It's one part of a bigger strategy. So far, we've covered LLCs and trusts, but what if you don't want your name on anything at all, not even indirectly? In the next scene, we'll look at how people use nominees to hold assets on their behalf legally. This one's a bit advanced, but very powerful. Don't miss it. Now let's talk about one of the more advanced and often misunderstood strategies for asset invisibility: nominee agreements. A nominee is someone who appears to own an asset on paper, but they're actually holding it on your behalf. You're the true owner behind the scenes, but your name never appears in public records. For example, let's say you want to purchase a piece of real estate but don't want your name associated with it. You can use a trusted person or entity, the nominee, to register the property in their name. Behind the scenes, you both sign a nominee agreement, which clearly states that they're holding the asset for you and have no control over it, unless you say so. The nominee has the legal title, but you keep beneficial ownership. That means you still control, profit from PUF, and can sell the asset without ever being listed as the owner in public databases. Sounds powerful, right? It is. But here's the warning. You need absolute trust in your nominee, and you must have a legally binding contract in place. If you don't, things can go wrong very quickly. Also, nominee structures are often used in combination with LLCs or trusts to build extra layers of privacy. For example, a nominee could act as the manager of your LLC, while you stay hidden as the true controller. This method is 100% legal when done correctly, but it's not something to DIY. Always get professional legal help to set it up safely. Remember, transparency is still required for tax purposes. Hiding assets from the government is illegal, but hiding them from the public for privacy and protection. That's smart strategy. Coming up next, we'll take this to a global level. With offshore entities that can make your name practically disappear from any asset list worldwide, let's go international. Now let's take things to the next level: global asset protection. If you want true privacy, powerful legal shields, and international freedom, it's time to talk about offshore entities. What does that mean? It simply means forming a company or trust outside your home country, in a jurisdiction with strong privacy laws, low taxes, and strict asset protection regulations. Places like Belize, Nevis, the Cayman Islands, and even Dubai are known for offering next-level secrecy and protection. These countries don't always share financial data with other governments, and their corporate records are often private by law. When you hold assets like bank accounts, real estate, or even crypto under an offshore company or trust, your name may never appear on any public ownership record. And if someone tries to sue you or come after your assets from another country, they'll face expensive, time-consuming legal battles just to get access, often with no success. But here's the key. Offshore doesn't mean illegal. This is not about tax evasion or hiding money from your government. It's about legal, ethical asset protection and privacy. If done correctly with full tax compliance and professional guidance, offshore structures can give you an unmatched level of control and security. Many wealthy families, business owners, and even Fortune 500 companies use offshore strategies to protect their wealth. But just like with trusts and nominee agreements, don't try to set this up yourself. You'll need an international asset protection lawyer or firm that understands both local and foreign laws. So whether you want to protect a business, a home, or your life savings, these 5 strategies can help you own nothing, control everything, and stay private in a world that watches everything. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And remember, privacy isn't paranoia, it's protection.